this review, I'm going to be covering X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain. This was the first 4D coaster ever built, and oh my god, they got to a good start. This is one of the craziest roller coasters ever. It was built in by Aerodynamics in 2002, and it opened as X, and then in 2008 they remodeled it, they turned it into X2, they gave it a new paint job, they added some fire effects, they added music. Well, I never got to do this as X. I assume it's a much better ride as X2. So, how does the ride begin? Well, you turn out of the station, and the trains are actually on this, so there are these wing trains, and they're out on the side of the track. And the gimmick with this ride being a 4D coaster is that the seats rotate independently of the track. So while you're going through these crazy elements, the seats are flipping, and yeah, the that's the ride. So you turn out at the station, you start climbing the lift hill backwards. This is a tall lift hill. It's 175 feet tall, and then the drop is like 215 feet, I think. So you get to the top of the lift hill, you start dipping like very slowly, and you can feel the anticipation as this happens. You're like sliding backwards, and all of a sudden it's like boom, you flip, and this drop is crazy. Probably like top three first drops ever. You flip so you're facing the ground, and you just fall face first straight down like 215 whatever feet. It's insane. The only thing your brain is able to think is, oh my god, I'm in falling mode. One of the greatest roller coaster moments ever. And you flip up into this huge Raven turn. Like, I don't know how tall this thing is, but it has to be over 150 feet tall. And you flip at the top, and then you just do this another massive drop down the Raven turn. And then you head up into this, like, airtime hill. And this is cool. You do a 360 at the top of this airtime hill, and you really float through that 360. So it's a lot of fun. And the ride goes into its breather moment, which is this turnaround. It's pretty high up, but you're not really doing anything. You're not flipping like crazy, but that's okay. The rest of this ride is insane. Like this next element. So this next element is a hill, and then you do like the track rotates at the top of the hill. You do like a half inline twist, and then your car rotates, and you fall down. And then there's flamethrowers at the bottom of this, which is cool. Unfortunately, this is a Six Flags park, and those effects don't work all the time, but when the flamethrowers are going, it's awesome. And you head up into the craziest element of this ride, besides the first drop, which is the final Raven turn. You're in the back seat, you just get yeeted over the top of this thing. And it's one of the most violent roller coaster elements ever, but it's violent in a good way. Like, it's not painful. You don't get thrown into those restraints, but it's just crazy. And you flip up, and you hit the brakes, and you're facing backwards when you hit the brakes, so it's a cool feeling. Overall, X2 is a coaster that every coaster enthusiast on Earth needs to get out and ride someday. It is one of the craziest roller coasters on the planet. It's ridiculously intense, and that first drop is just out of this world. You have that last Raven turn, which is incredibly violent. This is not a roller coaster for everyone. I would not really recommend X2 if you're not a fan of roller coasters that are going to attempt to kill you. But if you're like me and you like roller coasters that attempt to kill you, then this is a ride you should do. Fair warning, it can be a little bit rough sometimes. It's an aero coaster, so that's kind of a given. It happens, but it's not bothering the ride experience at all. It's definitely very tolerable. This is one of the best roller coasters ever, and as a result, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10 for the overall score. I would have given this a 10 a few years ago, but since then I've done Egenica at Fuji-Q Highland, which is like the far superior version of this, and I don't feel like giving this ride a 10 because there is a much better version. I feel like a 10 is a ride you can't improve on at all, but X2 is close to perfect. As far as roller coasters in California, by far the best roller coaster in California, and just a fantastic, fantastic ride that everyone needs to experience.